Assalamu alaikum, my YouTube family. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, as I told you guys that we are going to attempt the question on Sheikh Ahmed Sarandi after I have delivered two lectures on Sheikh Ahmed Sarandi, that who he was and how he reformed the fate of Muslims in the subcontinent. So in CSS 2024, the question asked by examiner is keeping in view the socio-economic circumstances of subcontinent. Discuss the role of Sheikh Ahmed Sirindi, Mujaddid Alif Thani, who revived Islamic ideology and established Muslim identity in the subcontinent. So, being a CSS aspirant or the one who are going to appear in the PMS exam or CSS, you have to learn how to make an outline. So, it is not necessary to make outline when you are attempting in the exam, but make yourself brainstorming like how I should go through with this question, or what topics or what paragraph I should include in this. So during the practice phase, it is very necessary that you should make an outline. So I have made an outline. If you find any mistake in my outline, any grammatical error or any um, wrong data I have mentioned, feel free to comment in the comment section and let me know my mistake. So first I have written the introduction, and then I have wrote that Sheikh Ahmed Sirindi is the greatest second millennium Muslim reformer. And then the examiner has mentioned the socio-economic circumstances of subcontinent. So it is very necessary that I should give the detail of the socio-economic circumstances of subcontinent. So we have three subheadings. Like first, we have to mention that Deen Ilahi, amalgamation of the different religions, Bhakti movement, adulteration of the teachings of Islam, and we have the Baba Guru Nanak talks, philosophy. So these are all basically the socio-economic circumstances. Now the major chunk of portion that examiner has asked is what was the role of the Sheikh Ahmad Sarandi. So role was first he confront the tyrant leaders like Akbar and Jahangir. Introduction of Wahdat al-Shaud to counter the belief of Wahdat al-Wajud. Sent his disciples to different parts of subcontinent to preach the teachings of Islam. Itbai Sunnah. Revival of the Sunnah and teachings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Writing magazines and books in Persian language. For instance, Risalai Tahlila. Second, we have the sent letters to the emperors of the neighboring Muslim countries, which are known as Makhtubate Imam Rabbani. They were approximately 356 in number. So we have to mention, because this is a great contribution of Sheikh Ahmad Sarandi. And after these roles, mentioning the different acts, we have to mention what was the impact of those struggles. Are those struggles become fruitful or not? So we have to mention that impact. First immediate impact was that he was imprisoned for 2 years. Second, then after his release, the late leaders realized that he was the actual person who sowed the seed of two nation theory, and later on Muslims get their separate homeland. And 4.3 is the revival of Islamic ideology and true teachings of Islam, re-imposition of jizya tax by Aurangzeb on non-Muslims, scholarly critical analysis of Sheikh Ahmad Sirandi, and finally we have the conclusion. So this is how we can make a detailed outline for the brainstorming to understand that what aspects I have to mention in the question. So this is how you should attempt a question. First of all, you have to mention the question number, and then add the main heading, that what about what you are writing the answer, because examiner should know. Examiner, it is highlighted for the examiner that you are going to attempt a question on Sheikh Ahmad Sarandi. So I have started the introduction with the quotation of Khwaja Bakhtiyar Kaki. I have discussed with detail in my previous lectures. So if you want to learn these notes, so you have to go through those lectures. So in the introduction, in the introduction, I have specifically described the according to the nature of the question. So first, I describe about the socio-economic circumstances of subcontinent, and then a little bit the detail that from where he was, what was his name, what was his father name, birth date. And then I referred that he was the greatest reformer of a second millennium, and then little bit discuss about his role as major points. And then as a second main heading, I refer to the socio-economic circumstances of subcontinent. And then after the semi colon, I have further described regarding what I am going to discuss, because it is very necessary that you should make the self-explanatory headings: Deen Ilahi, Bhakti movement, Baba Guru Nanak talks, and in the little bit I have described each and every concept. And these are the changed teachings of the Islam that was being practiced during the period of Akbar. And then I described little bit of Bhakti movement, that how the religious tolerance that was created by Akbar create room for the different religions like the Sikhism and Hinduism. So they were growing at the fast pace compared to the Islam. And here I have made the flow chart type, diagram type, that what are the actual social circumstances in the subcontinent in bullet points. And then finally we came to the main topic, that was the role of the Sheikh Ahmad Sarandi. And I also described in detail the each point that he gave, the counter, the concepts, his magazines and books name, because these are very necessary to write. And in the 3.4, I have mentioned the letters, different letters that he wrote to different emperors. Then the decipels he prepared. I also wrote the different names of his decipels that he used to send to the different parts of the subcontinent. And then I finally came to the part of the impact of the efforts of Sheikh Ahmad Sarandi, the imprisonment, and Deen Ilahi was abolished, reimposition of jizya tax. And then the quotation of Sheikh Ahmad Sarandi, that he has the put the seed of the two nation theory. That is, this is very important quotation. You must cram this quotation. And I got a chance that I should made here the map of the Indian subcontinent. And then I did the critical analysis. I'm not sure that we should do a scholarly critical analysis, but I mentioned the different points. That first and foremost point, he was lacking, that he has a very little he did a very little engagement with the Hindu philosophical tradition. Second weak point was there was no any formal institutional framework. It was dependent entirely on the personal correspondence and individual disciples rather than madrasa course uh, or organized network. And last, I have mentioned a book in which Sheikh Ahmad Sirindi anti-Hindu and anti-Shia statements were critically analyzed by a Israeli scholar known as Yohanan Friedman in his book Ahmad Sirindi, an outline of his thoughts and a study of his image in the eyes of posterity. And finally, I have the conclusion, very good conclusion. And finally, I have ended it with the Allama Muhammad Iqbal quotation on Sheikh Ahmad Surindi. So this is what all about. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you love my video, and comment your views on how to attempt an answer question.